Welcome to your Daily Revolution podcast. Today's topic, the power of masterful listening. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. My name is Setema, Gali, the founder and creator of the Prosperity Revolution, a global movement that helps you to get out of scarcity and into prosperity every single day. A movement where people have value, things do not, where money is a result of helping people, where you're rewarded for creating value for others, and where prosperity is not the result of luck, but a predictable steps and formulas, and where happiness is the ultimate goal. Oh yeah, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of our world and what we do, this movement of prosperity, this revolution of abundance, of possibilities, of really living into your greatest life. And I don't say that just like, a lot of people will say these cliches and these one-liners. I really mean living your greatest life. A life that you love, a life where you are happy more often than not, a life that you're contributing to other people, you're getting better every day, you're learning how to effectively deal with struggles and challenges and pain, and how to turn all of those and harness those into fuel that allows you to move forward and continue to create value for others. So thank you for being here. If this makes a difference for you, if there's any part of the podcast that help you to see differently, help you to feel differently, and just inspire you to be better, I ask you to share it with a friend. You have a duty to be one of the beacons of light who shares powerful things with other people. And with so much negativity in the world, with so much scarcity and fear and doubt in the world, I ask you to be one of the beacons of light, right? These beacons of light who go and just make a difference. So screenshot this, share it on, tag me, let me know that you're listening. I appreciate it. There's this concept of listening, and I've got a 14-year-old, an 11-year-old, and an 8-year-old right now. And it's challenging, it's fulfilling, it's rewarding. Now, if you're a parent, right, typically I speak to entrepreneurs and business owners. However, I speak to the masses as well, because it's not just about business. I'm about helping people to optimize and maximize a life that they love, which means every part of your life is going to be better. It's going to level up. And there's this principle. We have the 13 principles, and principle number 7 is listen. So as a father, I get to listen to my sons. Now, for a long time, all I was ever trying to do was teach my sons and coach my sons and build my sons. And it's the same thing with clients, right? You always want to help your clients and serve your clients and impact your clients. But the deeper I dive into this principle of listening, of really hearing and really understanding and really seeing, there's more skills required than most people talk about. I know one of my favorite authors, Stephen Covey, in his book, 7 Habits, he says, seek first to understand, then to be understood. And he dives deep on it, and I want to take it another step further. See, I'm playing football with my sons and basketball, and we always talk about being a starter. And then in high school, right, there's the varsity, and then there's the JV. And the varsity is the starters, right? They're the best of the best. And then there's the junior varsity. That doesn't mean they're bad. They're just not there yet. See, elementary or junior high or even junior varsity listening is very tactical. Like you nod your head, right? You acknowledge, yeah, okay, And that's about it. You act like you're interested. You can even repeat what they said. See, that's rookie. That is novice listening. And that only gets you so far. But see, the power of really listening. And when I say listening, I'm talking about being able to hear what they said over there where you are not. Being able to see from where they stand where you are not. Being able to feel as close to what they feel based upon their thoughts and stories and beliefs, based upon their experiences. So when you're listening, there's an art and there's a science, right? You're getting into their shoes. And instead of listening to reply, which is what most people do, you're in a conversation, most people start to, and then they listen to speak. How many times have you done that with your children? How many times have you done that with your employees or your team or your partners or your spouse, where you're listening, but all you can think of and focus on is what I'm going to say next? And masterful listening would have you get over there, right? Get into their shoes, get into their feet, get into their experience, and not just hear what they're saying now, but also understand the context of where they're coming from. And one of the greatest ways to do that is to listen to learn. Not listen to teach, but listen to learn. It's like saying, well, how could I learn more from my children? And so I go listen to them. So yesterday is a good example. We had basketball games. We had 2 basketball games, and they came home from school, and typically it's just like, hey, how was your day? All right, we got to get ready for basketball. And I said, man, tell me about your day, son. And while I'm listening with my physical ears, I'm striving to get over there into his shoes so I can feel what he feels, so I can experience what he experiences, so I can know where he is when he's saying what he's saying, so that my son really feels understood, so that my son feels that I have a genuine concern for his well-being and his welfare, so that my son can feel my love for him. See, the more you can masterfully listen to someone and understand someone and listen to learn from someone versus listening to teach, you begin to influence and have impact and be able to inspire them because you're listening to them. Now, if you take a look at this in your physical body, the realm of physicality, right? Being able to listen to your body, being able to listen to what you need, being able to listen to a great coach. See, no matter how great the coach is, if the student's not listening to learn, listening to understand, listening to understand what the coach is trying to say, very difficult to move the needle, right? To really move things forward inside of your spirituality. Like when you're studying the Word of God, or you're seeking greater spiritual help, or you are trying and striving to get into alignment with what you truly value, you're going to create this listening and this ability to hear, to feel, to see, and to put all those together. Like, okay, I can see something, even if it's just with my perspective. I can feel something, striving to really understand your heart, your soul, your spirit. And when you start to live in this manner of being able to masterfully listen to the voice, to God, to your body, to the universe, right? It changes everything around you. Look at your marriage and with your kids now, back to a father of a 14, 11, and 8-year-old. So as I look at my sons and I'm striving to connect with them and to build trust, you see, most people, most parents, from what I've observed, they're always just telling their kids what to do. I'm in that boat sometimes too. But when I really step up to the plate and really deliver for my sons is when I listen with a set of ears that has me striving to see, hear, and feel from their shoes where I am not as a 45-year-old father who's already experienced a lot of life, but as a human being wanting to be in my son's shoes when he's super excited about getting rewards at school, or my son who's telling me he's going to run for president of student council, or my son who's telling me about Pokemon or Justin Bieber, right? These are the things my sons listen to. I'm like, my goodness. And I want to listen to learn. You know, you'll never stop growing if you create this listening, the art and the science of being able to tactfully listen, strategically listen, and emotionally listen while physically listening. And once you gather, right, once you really gather in your marriage or in your raising your children, you can go to work. See, I look at couples as well inside of your marriage. If your marriage is not thriving, now let's talk about thriving for just a moment here, right? If anyone listens to my podcast or comes to Immersion or to Pro Rev Live or VIP 50 or any of the events that we throw and we sponsor and hold, you know how much I care about my wife. Like, she means so much to me. Like, it's very, very, very important to me to have a dynamic 5-star, top of the line, highly rated, highly executed marriage. Why? Because it's what I want. I refuse to be average, especially this is the woman I share a bed with, a home. Like, we're close, we talk, we raise boys together, we date, we spend time, we play basketball. This is my ride or die. This is my boo. This is my baby girl. This is my love. And in my marriage, I've got to be able to really listen to what my wife wants and what she needs. See, I don't count on her masterfully communicating it to me. Not to say that she can't. But don't be the person who's like, well, you're not communicating it. The goal here is to be a masterful listener, like the world's greatest listener. You really listen, hear, and see, and feel. You really get into their shoes and understand context of yesterday and last week and last month, and perhaps even into their childhood. And you're listening to learn, you're listening to serve, you're listening to impact. Because the more you listen, the more you can gather, the more data you can gather. And the more data you can gather of understanding and having empathy, the greater you can serve and impact them. This is with my wife. I've got to learn how to listen. And while I'm not perfect all the time, I pride myself on just being able to pick up on the clues of what she says, how she's behaving, what she's doing. The same thing with my sons, the same thing with my clients, which leads me to business. In the business world, like, your ability and your commitment and dedication to being a masterful listener, to listening to what people want, listening to what people say, listening to your employees, listening to your children, listening to your partners, listening to the marketplace, looking at the data from market, really having this empathy, this understanding, this commitment to learning while listening. It changes how you can behave. It changes your strategy so you can move forward, so you can level up. Game changer. So how is your listening today? How are you as a listener? Do you look at your phone while you're listening? And often I'll find my wife talking to me. And when she starts to go into it, I said, baby, hold on real quick. Let me send this out. I send it. I turn my phone over. Why do I turn my phone over? Because I don't want to see any notifications. I want to listen and look into her eyes and soul gaze into her soul and just feel her with my heart. Same thing with my employees or my team members, with my business partners, with my clients. My friends, if you're listening to this right now and you're starting to see what could be possible if you just really had a set of ears on, and not just physical ears, but like your entire soul to learn from people, right? With the intent to learn, to really grasp and understand what they're saying and what they're seeing and what they're feeling, what they're doing. What a difference it will make for you, my friends, as you take on Principle 7, listening to the voice, listening to your body, listening to the data in the marketplace, listening to your spouse, your children. What a difference it will make for you as you take this role on to being a great listener. My friends, where can you improve today? What would you do today? And thanks for listening to the podcast. Listen, the whole purpose of the podcast and the revolution is to help you to produce results that matter, to unleash your greatest potential so that you can produce with power and you can produce at the highest levels to produce results that truly matter. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it. If this has made a difference, share this on, share it with someone. And look, if anything that I share with you makes a difference, I invite you to go take a look at our Champions Huddle. The Champions Huddle is our monthly coaching where we deep dive and we coach and we take on your role of expansion and learning and growth and becoming, so that a week from now, or 30 days from now, or 6 months from now, a year from now, if you stay on that track of expansion, skill sets and mindsets and tool sets, that you become the champion of your life. So go and check that out, championshuddle.com. I would love to have you in there in our community where we're focused on helping you become your greatest. Thanks so much for listening, my friends. God bless you. God bless America. Until next time, I'm out.
Let's go! This is your daily revolution. Living prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint. This is your daily revolution. You already know. And if you don't, then check my resume. Turning pressure into possibilities every day. We all can win and live our unique purpose. We change our mindsets and put the work in. This is your daily revolution. Daily revolution. Revolution. Your daily revolution podcast.